This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Infinity Isle. Yep, we're back once again with a classic 1v1. On the left side, playing the Cyan, this is Zaid, rocking the Allies. Meanwhile, on the right side, also playing the Allies, this is Stryder. This is an AVA, it's a mirror matchup, but Zaid actually played random. So Stryder is an allied main, at least as far as I know. And Zaid, on the other hand, playing random, drawing allies, so we somewhat randomly end up in an allied mirror here on Infinity Isle. Building immediately going to be busted open there by Zaid. But yeah, Zaid, a pretty good player overall. I feel like in the last year and a half, he has been on the rise, been on the come up, and he's made tournament finals a number of times. He's put up good games versus some strong players. This game is a few months old from by the time it'll come out. It'll be, I don't know, 6 months old or something like that. So maybe Zaid wasn't quite in tip-toppy shape back then, but he is, again, still a very strong player. I would think that he would be the favorite here versus Stryder. Maybe playing random has a little bit of an effect on that, as we have IFV out on the map. Peacekeepers from Zaid are going to be running for the hills, at least for now. Both players expanding backwards, so they're both angled towards that naval expansion. For the current moment, the IFV bypassing the first wave of Peacekeepers. Gonna kind of run into a Javelin soldier inside of that building. There are 2 or 3 Javelin soldiers out and about running around with this army. Zaid, for the current moment, he's gonna unblock the dog, so he didn't pull his MCV over to the front line. This is just going to be a pure infantry defense. The multi-gunner turret is far away out there on the water as the multi-gunner IFVs are going to be pushing forward. They're going to be knocking down basically every single jab has been focus fire targeted by Stryder. He does end up losing a couple of IFVs in the exchange, but he eliminated every single javelin basically as quickly as he could. That was basically perfectly handled by Stryder. Pushing down the front door, Zaid opted to stick with his current plan. He was going for a third on the water, and he did not let this attack at the front door stop him in any way. It maybe slowed him down a little tiny bit, clearing out that javelin with the help of that Peacekeeper. Walls starting to get broken down. Peacekeepers will be targeting this power plant as well. Zaid trying to move up close and personal, and the walls coming in to defend. Maybe a little too slow, and yeah, that power plant ends up going down. The wall just sort of trapping that Peacekeeper inside, and it's going to be a naval yard as the follow-up. Riptide steps on out. Good unit control by Zaid, not letting him dive too deep. Will pull that Riptide back and save absolutely everybody that he can. The barracks going down some time ago. Stryder gets his own navy up, and actually not navy, but just natural expansion up there on the water. His naval expansion is up and running. He's keeping his MCV there. He's sold off his war factory, and he has pivoted into an airfield, which this could end up hurting Zaid a lot. If this is not seen, or if this is not predicted, then this could be a huge 1-2 punch. IFVs have mostly escaped. They could have stuck around on the other side of the map a little bit longer, but they decided to pull back to safety. Riptides are here, but the Vindicator has revealed itself. That's one dead Riptide. His second one going to be getting clobbered by that MCV. Zaid trying to get something done on the map, trying to step forward and find a little bit of damage, but he's just not getting anything. Peacekeepers get denied. Perfect unit control there by Stryder to stop the Peacekeepers from getting into the building. On the north side of the map. It's going to be a Dolphin sniping a dog. It will be a harassment of the Navy, and the MCV has already moved up to the high ground. It goes. It crushed that Riptide, but that means it won't have any build radius to stop this Dolphin. Back on the front line, Vindicator comes in. Zaid loses the Vindicator, trades it back for that IFV, and this Riptide will not be needed because the Dolphin is punching down that refinery. There is that Vindicator, I guess, didn't drop its bombs because it's still circling overhead. Second Vindicator comes in, and if your opponent is paying attention, yeah, exactly, one Vindicator is not enough. Zaid forces Stryder to use 2 Vindicators to kill off one single Dolphin. Apollo's a little bit too late to the party. It means that Stryder does get all of his Vindicators back home safe and sound before the Apollos show up. Although they are going to be dogging this airfield, they are just guarding it, and they're going to try and camp outside to see if anything happens. Crowshot will be firing off 2, maybe 3 of these IFVs will get caught. Only 1 actually gets frozen, but 2 more get busted wide open by that IFV, that turret on the front line. The multi-gunner turret is stopping the attack. Vindicators don't actually get caught anymore by those Apollos. I love the fact that Zaid is just camping out on those Vindicators with the Apollos, stopping the Vindicators from being a part of this fight. The Vindicators could have bursted down that multi-gunner turret. They could have helped kill off this refinery. Harvester going to be forced to convert into a command hub as the Dolphin comes in for a second wave of the attack. The first Dolphin got cleaned up by the double Vindicator, and this Dolphin will be here to finish the job. Zaid managing to get a little bit done. Big bombing run, nothing on the deck to target, so the Vindicators just drop their bombs and run for the hills, but that means there's nothing going to be here to try and stop this multi-gunner turret. Actually deploys. Dolphins skate to the other side. Nicely positioned there. No, just kidding. As one of the Dolphins ends up going down, Apollo's going to be taking a couple of shots, catching some strays from that multi-gunner turret, and that's a good lineup for that Dolphin to splash both buildings. Needs to get out of position. No! He gets sniped. The multi-gunner turret gets the kill. Airfield goes down. Apollos have nowhere to land. They're going to chase down these Vindicators. These other Apollos could have actually moved over to intercept the Vindicators in time, but Zaid wasn't on top of it. Naval Yard is still there. MCV has moved up to the high ground. Airfield can be rebuilt, possibly here next to this refinery. Give the free repairs there as well, or he could try and place it a little bit further away from the refinery if he wants to create a bit more space. And multi-gunner turret immediately gets bursted down. IFVs crush that front door and let the Vindicators crush the front door and let the IFVs right in. Power plant will be targeted. That'll be an easy one to kill as the airfield gets deployed. Power plant goes down. Multi-gunner turret still online. Harvester actually survives, so the multi-gunner's taking a little bit of damage there right on the edge of range. It does survive. That guy down. Would have taken 2 or 3 more volleys to totally eliminate that IFV. Double multi-gunner turret and a weakened Harvester as well. So that is going to be a lot of cash to try and keep that naval expansion up and running. Big Vindicator bombing run. MCV gets taken down pretty low on health. Would actually be worth building a barracks and an engineer just to get that MCV back up to full health. War Factory gets rebuilt on the high ground. Tier 2 upgraded for Stryder, not so much for Zaid. He might just repair tool that all the way back up to full health. Again, it might actually be worth it going for the engineer. MCV nowhere in range. Command hub was already sold off, so this is going to be this guy is going to be the same thing that happened a minute ago. The command hub is going to be forced to deploy. No, the Harvester doesn't actually manage to deploy in time. Meanwhile, the front door gets broken open once again. The multi-gunner turret cannot hold the line as the Dolphins force the refinery to be sold off on the water. Stryder steps forward on the land. This MCV low on health. Looks like it actually got repaired up pretty far. Laser Lock might have a lot to say about that. No, the Javs break off the attack. They spread for the corners of this map, and they are looking to try to escape the damage of that MCV. MCV gets laser locked, but only for a moment as these IFVs continue to try and burst open this front door. The barracks will get knocked down. Stryder continuing to push this front line forward, and the multi-gunner turret is so far away. The MCV and the Riptides, they're going to have to be the front line here, as Stryder actually pulls pretty far back. Another big bombing run, not going for the Riptides. He leaves all of the Riptides online. He really thinks he can get the MCV, and the MCV continues to charge forward. That guy's got like 10% HP, and he's still clicking forward with it. He's got no weapons on it, and he just dies. The MCV gets eliminated, but at the 10-minute 30 mark, Stryder just wrecks him. Was that a bait? That Riptide pushes forward, and Stryder completely pulls his army back. That one Riptide took the entire attention of the red allied army. Cryo shot coming in once again. It's going to one-tap that multi-gunner turret. Riptide or an IFV ends up going down, but this is a lot of Guardian tanks here as well. That's a fully heroic Riptide or multi-gunner IFV as well. And the multi-gunner turret goes down. Airfield will be eliminated. There is still a naval yard over here. The MCV has already been rebuilt, so Zaid had that one out quick, but that means he spent a lot of cash rebuilding that, and now he doesn't have any production, so he's got 4 or 5 grand in the bank. He probably has 1 or 0 production facilities. Okay, he's got 2 barracks on land, plus the naval yard out in the water. That is not the ideal situation, and that you would like. Power plant gets eliminated. A nice kill there by Stryder. Not an optimal target, but he does find something. One Vindicator goes down. A second one gets eliminated. He had 4 a minute ago, and now he's just got 2 as this refinery is going to be ripped down by, well, maybe not, because this cryoblast will fire back. All of the Guardian tanks avoid the freezing ray of ice, and the Peacekeeper trying to get up close and personal with the frozen opponents, but Stryder keeps his units safe. Guardian tanks so low on health. These 2 managed to survive for just another moment. The Apollos keeping the Vindicators at bay. Back on the other side of the map, Zaid cutting down the fighting force of Stryder. Riptide's pushing forward. One of them has gone fully heroic. All of the Peacekeepers are now gone, so the Javs can clean up these Guardians. The Guardians don't commit into the crush, so they're just going to get picked off. Those low-health Guardians getting eliminated so quickly in that fight, they never got pulled all the way back to go for repairs. They got left on the front line, and now they're dead. They're in the dirt 6 feet under as the Apollos take a couple of shots there from the Javelins. They get a kill, and these Guardians might just be pushed back into the corner. Are there any Peacekeepers? There's a couple more coming up. The Riptide doesn't want to fight against all this infantry power. Those Javs will end that Riptide's whole life if given the opportunity. The Apollos continue to chase down. The Vindicator survives. A double vet Vindicator so low on health, and the cryo shot fires back. The blast from the past from the other side of the map lands on Zaid, and it will freeze down that refinery. Guardian tank going heroic. The Javs as well lighten up their stars. It was actually the Peacekeeper who got credit for that kill. And don't be deceived by all these Riptides. They've got units inside of them as well as the Guardian tank goes down, and Stryder gives away the rest of his army, trying to trade it back for that refinery, but he doesn't get the kill. The refinery on the low ground getting cleaned up. Guardian tank and the Jav managing to get that kill. This oil derrick has been targeted 2 or 3 times. It'll finally go down to the laser lock of that hero Javelin. Low ground expansion cleaned up. Stryder making his own naval expansion safe by bringing the fight to Zaid. Command hub will be knocked down. Nope. Going for the refinery. Should have enough to one-tap it. Forces the sell-off. Saves a couple of bombs even. Could have dropped them somewhere else if he wanted. Front line being reformed on the high ground by Zaid. Oil derrick still alive on the side of Stryder. Double barracks production for both allied players. Okay, one of them was sold off for Zaid, so he no longer has that rolling for him. But the MCV has not roamed its way up to the middle of the map. Dolphin coming in. 3 more Dolphins on the way. Buy time is the name of the game. Multi-gunner turret not on the way. Nothing queued on the defensive tab as the Dolphin does end up getting targeted. And this is actually quite a few Riptides. Are there any? Yes, there are Vindicators. One of them fully heroic, blasting down those Riptides. And Stryder finds another angle in. The Riptide survives. The Dolphins die. And this is another Dolphin just into the meat grinder here. Why do you keep sending the reinforcements? The last one dies, and there's still another Dolphin moving. Is he really just sending the worst parade push of Dolphins all the way across the map? He gives away a heroic status to that Riptide. The rest of the Riptide's going to heal up to full as well. Command hub on the high ground. I think that might have been the Harvester left over from that dead refinery. He tries to expand up to the high ground. He won't actually find it. Another Dolphin just given away. That's 3 or 4 Dolphins that were just free donations to Zaid. He really didn't need to do that. 2, 3 Vindicators go down. Was that worth it? It seems like it wasn't. A couple of missteps in a row from Stryder, and he gets caught on the ramp. The Freezy Ray comes down, and the infantry assault gets stopped in its tracks. The Vindicators all went down, all 3 or 4, and there's going to be the return fire, but guess what? Zaid just runs past it. He keeps on with the gas, and he rolls over this army. He blasts down everything that Stryder sent across the map. And now Stryder is missing his cryoblast as well. He got 0 or close to 0 value out of that most recent cryoblast, and he's back up to 3 Vindicators. Oil Derrick's still alive here. We're past the 15-minute mark for Stryder, so that's huge value for that Oil Derrick. Where are these Vindicators going? They're going deep. Could target the Harvester. Ooh, they're going to get the Harvester and the Refinery. Big damage. So if they rearm... well, okay, he's repair tooling the Refinery, so it will be healthy enough to survive another bombing run. But that's a bit of wasted cash. And if the Vindicators can't find an easy target, maybe they could have gone for one of these power plants. And if they can't find an easy target, then bombing out the Refinery and coming back for it later is always a good plan. Dolphins get caught in the north. Zaid ends up going to lose one of his Dolphins in the 3v1 fight. This does also reveal the Dolphins to Zaid, so he knows that he's got another attack wave coming in. Multi-gunner turret is ready, hydrofoil and Dolphins on standby. If the Vindicators show up, they're going to have at least a hydrofoil to contend with. A couple of spies inside of these IFVs. Are these just for the snipe? Oh, there we go. Are these just for the snipe? There's not a lot of infantry out on the map, but they might be inside of the Riptides. Yeah, there is still a barracks here. He had double barracks production earlier. Zaid knows about this attack. Stryder is... oh, he's actually going to be posturing. This is 3 or 4 jabs right on the front line. Vindicators coming in for Zaid. He's rebuilt his airfield. Well, he's actually rebuilt his Vindicators. He's had his Apollos for a long, long time, and this Dolphin is going to go down. No good luck there for Stryder, but he finds his like on the front line. That's 3 dead jabs for free. The snipers land their shots, and the spies find their angle in to the game. Zaid may have some other spy problems to worry about here. Vindicators coming in. 1 dead Vindicator. Doesn't look like a lot went down on the Zaid side of the map. Apollo's on Overwatch. This might be another Cryoblast angle. Vindicators coming in. Okay, yeah, there it is. Cryogeddon ready to fire off on top of the Refinery, on top of the Riptide. Oh, there's a Dolphin here. Okay, that's what's actually going to do the damage. The Riptide gets sniped, and that's going to be the Refinery, the Naval Yard, multi-gunner turret, and everything basically goes down. The Dolphin gets eliminated. No fancy jump for you. Apollos and hydrofoils getting 1 or 2 kills there. It looks like the multi-gunner turret survived that fight, but that was a huge strike for Stryder, or for Zaid. Stryder in the last 5 minutes has just taken L after L after L. Stryder was playing the first 15 minutes of this game incredibly well. Really good map choices, movements from the units. Really good everything from Stryder for the first 15 minutes of the game. And then Zaid, the last 5 minutes, has absolutely pulled it back. showing why Zaid is a top contender here in 2025. Aircraft carrier is out on the field. Artillery, always an answer in Red Alert 3. I guess pretty much all strategy games, all real-time strategy, all strategy games usually have a huge benefit to going for artillery. Refinery ends up going down. Zaid posturing near the middle of the map. So is Stryder. Double Dolphin on top of the hydrofoil, and now they can go for this aircraft carrier, or maybe not. Zaid has a bunch of Riptides there on the north side. Snipers coming forward. They're just going to clean up a couple of infantry. They can just run for the hills after this. There's not a lot to shut them down. They're sticking around to get an extra couple of shots and maybe even steal a little cash. Thank you very much. Gets a little shutdown there on the refinery. Airfield ends up going down. Aircraft carrier now slowly going to be eliminated. It's just a full send to the other side of the map. Zaid might just be giving up his own main base as we're going to be trading places. Those Riptides loaded up with units. Massive cryo-get-in here for Stryder as the aircraft carrier goes down on the other side of the map. He ends up freezing his own peacekeepers. Stryder trying to make his base safe ends up freezing his own units. This one hero peacekeeper plus the Athena cannons will shut down almost this entire attack. One Riptide, no, 0 Riptides have actually survived. This guy on the south side, both refineries have been broken open. Multi-gunner turret gets shut down over there. Power plants eliminated on the Zaid side of the map, and Stryder with this combination of peacekeepers and snipers, he can take on any infantry army that Zaid can put out. Riptide starting to make its way through that naval expansion. High ground was left up, not quite up and running because the refinery is gone. MCV packed up to the other side of the map. Zaid is going to have the water and Stryder is going to have the land? How is this working out? Cryocopter coming out, a critical unit choice there for Zaid, managing to get that, and this refinery is out of range. Prospector ends up going down. All of the other buildings have been busted open. An extra Riptide, an extra Dolphin coming out here for Zaid. The last couple of units from his naval yard as the assault destroyer crosses the map. This Riptide is going to be going down. Athena cannon on the high ground. Aegis shield gets popped. It's a little too late as this Riptide needs to dodge and weave. Dodges 2 shots from Athena cannons, but it'll be the Peacekeeper who gets the kill that actually shot, the shot that actually lands, and everything else got dodged away from. Refinery, a couple of power plants end up going down to the freeze of the cryo-get-in, and the cryocopter working its tail off to try and freeze down that refinery all by its lonesome. Zaid is going to have to give up this naval expansion after, I don't know, 20 minutes of holding it in the game. Athena cannon gets tagged, gets found, and killed by the Vindicators as they head back up to the north. Zaid is kind of spread out. Oh, he's got a command hub on the left side of the map. The assault destroyer able to clean up that refinery, and Zaid ready to go with a refinery right there to replace his opponents. Stryder sends a couple of peacekeepers into the meat grinder. Assault destroyer shows up, but that's a hydrofoil with a weapons jammer to shut down that assault destroyer. Athena cannon's gonna run for the hills because the cryocopter cannot be stopped, and this is the longest conga line of peacekeepers you've ever seen in your life. As Stryder returns to his main base, Vindicator goes down. Javs get the kill there. Vindicator's moving forward, going for the IFVs, get both of them, cleaning up some of these anti-air units. Stryder can reproduce them. Both players on the same economy in the current moment, but overall, Stryder is up 10k more in total resources gathered. This might be his lifeline. Stryder thinks that he cleared out that section of the map 2 minutes ago, and he has not. That command hub giving the build radius, especially since the Athena cannons are going to flatten this expansion. This is depleted. Okay, so the MCV packs up. It can run away further into the corner. Athena cannons can't swim. If they try, they just die. The Vindicator's moving forward. Stryder is going to have to get back out onto the water. He's got another naval yard up and running. Triple Dolphin is there. All right, there's the burst. Oh, he was expecting that multi-gunner turret to be sold off, but it wasn't sold off. It's going to absorb a ton of bombs. Peacekeepers are going to help break down these barracks on the front line, and the IFVs escape for the current moment. Stryder has an absolutely massive army. It's, I guess, all about the air forces for Zaid. Vindicators drop a couple of bombs on that double vet Athena cannon, trying to stop another Athena from going heroic. 2 double vet Athenas. All the heroic Athenas have been cleaned up. Refinery here on the high ground, refinery there on the low ground, and he sells off that command hub, so no more build radius for Zaid, at least for the current moment, but he is out of cash. Cryogeddon coming in. Cryocopter as well. Stryder is out of position. This might spell disaster for the infrastructure. Bombs get dropped. IFVs will return. How many units do you want to sacrifice? As Zaid decides not to sacrifice any, maybe one. No, all of the Vindicators made it back home. Dolphins show back up, but of course the Vindicators have already dropped their bombs. They're going to have to refuel and rearm in the fastest time possible, as the Cryogeddon is going to be transferred to the other side of the map. Zaid now has to deal with this problem that he's caused. The Riptide gets through. One hero Riptide, as the Vindicators split their bombs between the targets. One Riptide gets through. Hydrofoil goes for the shrink, but the hydrofoil, or the cryocopter goes for the shrink, but the cryocopter will die. Vindicators get the kills. Everything gets cleaned up. The cryocopter dies, but he gets the freeze just in time. Edge of the knife here, and this refinery has been found out. It has been suspected, or it has been spotted. Zaid, does he have anything left to give? It's all about the air forces. He's got a few $100 in the bank. A refinery about to finish up. $75 more in his pocket. Both players with extremely limited economic situations, but the refineries don't matter as long as you've got an oil derrick. It's the slowest amount of income, but it is still something. Killing that oil derrick is going to be of paramount importance for Zaid. Stryder spots the refinery. Vindicators moving forward. The defense is going to have to be amazing here. 9 grand still in the bank there for Zaid. Does he actually have enough cash to get out another harvester? Well, Riptide here would be wonderful, but he has to defend it just with Vindicators. Burning down the walls, eliminating anything that Zaid could sell off. Zaid now corralled up to this northern section of the map. Stryder nearly giving away this game after he had such an amazing start. These walls can be sold off for a little tiny bit of cash back for Zaid. He's got so little money. He's got so little anything. It would have to be an absolutely amazing Vindicator defense. Every Vindicator that goes down is basically irreplaceable. Oh, the IFV goes down. What even shoots up? A hydrofoil there in the south. Peacekeepers don't. They can't reach anything that's over there. Vindicators desperately trying to arm back up. He's just going to base push him down. Zaid is also in low power mode. And there's the Athena cannons. They drain the life from that refinery. Stryder has done it. Absolutely incredible AVA here. An incredible performance from Stryder. Cryogeddon fires off that. If there was anything anywhere to kill off these units, that would be an absolutely insane value. Hydrofoil catches those Vindicators. They can split bombs. They can kill all of the Athena cannons. They decide not to. They want to return back home. Vindicators, can they get the hydrofoil? There's the freeze. What is here to actually kill off? If they die, they could crash into their own airfield and accidentally blow it up. The hydrofoil just guard dogging that. Is Zaid? What is he? Okay. Oh! It gets sold off. He doesn't have anything. Does he have? Oh! He gets it just in time! And he has a full deck. 4 Vindicators survive. 1 goes down to the burn. Apollos swing back through. There's just so little left for both players. MCV, I guess the MCV can get bombed out because the Vindicators can forever burst any multi-gunner turrets that get deployed. He's gonna go for the engineer cap. He forces the MCV to pack up, and then I guess the engineer just gets sniped. Did Stryder just... Is he dead? It's a GG. Stryder just loses the game. Zaid does hit the pullback in the 30-minute AVA on Infinity Isle. Stryder ends up letting the game slip through his fingers, and Zaid gets the win. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this incredible AVA, and this is Sybert signing out.